Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Imagine this. You win $10 million in the lottery tomorrow. 10 million, life-changing money. You quit your job immediately. You buy your dream house. You buy cars for your family. You take that vacation you've always wanted. You're finally free. Fast forward 5 years, you're broke, completely broke. In fact, you're worse than broke, you're in debt. Your house is in foreclosure. Your family isn't speaking to you. You're more miserable than you were before you won. Sounds insane, right? How could anyone blow through $10 million? Must be idiots, right? Wrong. 70% of lottery winners end up broke within 3 to 5 years. 70%. These aren't all stupid people. These are normal people whose brains encountered more money than they were psychologically equipped to handle. And here's the terrifying part. The same brain mechanism that destroys lottery winners is destroying their finances right now, just at a smaller scale. It's called hedonic adaptation. And today I'm going to show you why that raise you got last year didn't make you happier. Why you'll never feel rich no matter how much you earn. And most importantly, how to actually escape this psychological trap. Let me tell you about Jack. He won $4.3 million in the lottery in 2002. After taxes, he took home about $2.6 million. He was a construction worker making $35,000 a year. This was life-changing money. Within 1 year, he bought a house for $600,000. Bought his mom a house for $300,000. Bought himself a truck for $60,000. Bought his girlfriend a car for $40,000. Took his extended family on a vacation to Hawaii for $30,000. Gave money to friends who asked, about $200,000 total. He was being generous. He was living his dream. Year 2, the house needed furnishing. High-end furniture, $150,000. The house needed a pool, $80,000. The truck wasn't enough. Bought a second car, $50,000. The girlfriend wanted a nicer ring, $40,000. More family members had emergencies. Another $100,000 gone. Year 3, property taxes on the big house, maintenance, insurance, $30,000 a year. The lifestyle requires more money to maintain than he thought. He's not working because why would he? He's rich. But the money is disappearing faster than expected. Year 4, he's running low. He sells some stuff but at a loss. Year 5, he's broke. Sells the house. Moves back to an apartment. Back to construction work. Except now he's worse off because he burned all his relationships. His family resents him for the money drama. And he's depressed because he had everything and lost it. You're thinking, I would never be that stupid. I'd invest it. I'd be smart. But here's the thing. Jack wasn't stupid either. He had a plan. He was going to make the money last. But his brain had other plans. Because here's what actually happened. The moment Jack won, his brain's baseline for normal shifted. A $60,000 truck wasn't extravagant anymore. It was just what he drove. The $600,000 house wasn't a mansion. It was just his house. Within 6 months, these things that seemed incredible became ordinary. That's hedonic adaptation. Your brain adapts to any new circumstance and returns to its baseline level of happiness. The fancy stuff stops being fancy. It just becomes your life. And once it's your baseline, you need more to feel that excitement again. But it gets worse. Not only did Jack's baseline shift up, but going back down feels like punishment. Selling the truck and buying a normal car doesn't feel like a neutral move. It feels like a massive loss. Moving from the big house to an apartment doesn't feel like returning to normal. It feels like failure. His brain adapted up so quickly that it now perceives anything less as deprivation. This is the hedonic treadmill, and it's not just destroying lottery winners. It's destroying you too. You got a raise last year. Remember how excited you were. Where did that money go? Let me guess. Nicer apartment, nicer car, better restaurants, more stuff. And now, a year later, you don't feel any richer. You feel exactly the same. Maybe worse, because now you have higher expenses. Your brain adapted. The new baseline became normal. And you're right back where you started, except now you need more money to feel okay. Let's run the actual numbers on hedonic adaptation, because this isn't just a feeling. It's measurable. We're going to track two people. Person A wins $5 million in the lottery. Person B gets a $50,000 raise at work. Both experience the same psychological mechanism, just at different scales. And both end up in the exact same place, back at their baseline happiness level, but with higher expenses. Person A wins $5 million. After taxes, about $3 million take home. Year 1, they're ecstatic. Happiness level, 10 out of 10. They buy a house for $800,000. They buy cars for themselves and family, $200,000. They quit their job, which was paying $50,000 a year. They take vacations, $60,000. They upgrade everything, furniture, clothes, gadgets, another $100,000. Total spending year 1, $1.16 million. Remaining, $1.84 million. Happiness level by end of year 1, 7 out of 10. The new stuff is already normal. Year 2, the happiness is fading. The house needs maintenance, $20,000. Property taxes, $15,000. No job income, so they're living off the lottery money. Cars need insurance and maintenance, $10,000. They want to feel that excitement again, so they upgrade. New boat, $100,000. Renovation to the house, $150,000. More vacations, $70,000. Help family members with emergencies, $80,000. Total spending year 2, $445,000. Remaining, $1.395 million. Happiness level, 5 out of 10. Same as before they won. Year 3, something shifts. They're not happy. The money isn't bringing joy anymore. Everything feels normal. But their expenses are locked in. The house costs money. The cars cost money. The boat costs money. They're burning through $50,000 a year just on maintenance of their stuff. They try to recapture the feeling by spending more. Another car, $80,000. Investment in a friend's business that fails, $100,000. More family loans that won't be repaid, $60,000. Living expenses without a job, $60,000. Total spending year 3, $350,000. Remaining, $1.045 million. Happiness level, 4 out of 10. Lower than before they won. Year 4, panic sets in. The money is running out. They try to cut back, but cutting back feels like deprivation. Selling the boat at a loss, get back $40,000. But they still need to live. Annual expenses for the lifestyle they're locked into, $70,000. Emergency expenses, car accident, medical bills, $40,000. Bad investment trying to grow the remaining money, loses $200,000. Total year 4, minus $270,000. Remaining, $775,000. Happiness level, 3 out of 10. Stressed, depressed, desperate. Year 5, it's over. They try to sell the house, but the market is down. Sell for $600,000. Pay off the mortgage they took out in year 3, net $200,000. Add that to remaining $775,000, total $975,000. Sounds like a lot, but it's not enough to maintain the lifestyle. They're too proud to go back to working. They keep spending. Living expenses, helping family, bad investments. Within 18 months, it's gone. They're broke. Back to working, but now they're bitter. Relationships are destroyed, and they're clinically depressed. Happiness level, 2 out of 10, lower than before they won. Now person B, they get a $50,000 raise. They were making $70,000, now making $120,000. Year 1, they're thrilled. Happiness level jumps from 5 to 8. They upgrade their apartment, $300 more per month, $3,600 a year. They buy a nicer car. Payment goes from $300 to $500 monthly, $2,400 more a year. They eat out more, $100 a week increase, $5,200 a year. They travel more, one extra vacation, $4,000 a year. They buy better stuff, clothes, gadgets, another $3,000 a year. Total annual increase in expenses, $17,200. Their raise after taxes is about $30,000. So they're saving $12,800 more than before. Sounds good. Happiness level by end of year, 6 out of 10. The new stuff is already normal. Year 2, the lifestyle has fully adapted. The nice apartment is just their apartment. The car is just their car. Eating out is just what they do. They don't feel richer. Happiness level, 5 out of 10. Back to baseline. But here's the trap. Their expenses are now $17,000 higher than before the raise. If they lost their job, or took a pay cut, or needed to save more, they can't easily cut back. The higher baseline feels normal. Cutting expenses feels like punishment. They're on their own hedonic treadmill, just spinning at a different speed than the lottery winner. Same mechanism, same outcome. No lasting happiness, increase despite more money. Here's the devastating part. Studies show that lottery winners return to their baseline happiness level within 12 to 18 months. The same studies show that people who get promotions or raises return to baseline within 6 to 12 months. And here's the really dark part. People who become paralyzed in accidents also return to their baseline happiness level within 12 to 18 months. Your brain adapts to everything, good or bad. This is why lottery winners go broke and why you don't feel richer despite making more money than you did 5 years ago. Hedonic adaptation is a universal human experience, and the only way to beat it is to understand it and deliberately design your life around it. So why does our brain work this way? Why are we designed to adapt to good things and return to baseline? Seems like terrible design. Actually, it's brilliant design for the environment we evolved in, and terrible design for modern capitalism. Let me explain. In the ancestral environment, resources were scarce and threats were constant. If your brain allowed you to feel satisfied and content, you'd stop seeking resources and you'd die. The humans who survived were the ones who could never feel satisfied. You found food today? Great. Now find more food for tomorrow. You built a shelter? Great. Now build a better one. You're safe right now? Great. But stay vigilant because predators exist. Hedonic adaptation and our ancestors never became complacent. They kept striving. They kept improving. They survived. We're descended from the people who were never satisfied. This worked great for survival. It works terribly for happiness in the modern world. Because now we live in an environment of abundance, at least in developed countries. You're not going to starve if you stop striving. You're not going to get eaten by a predator if you relax. But your brain doesn't know that. It's still running the software that says, more is better, never be satisfied, keep seeking, keep upgrading, keep striving. This ancient survival mechanism has been weaponized by modern capitalism. Every advertisement you see is designed to trigger hedonic adaptation. Ads don't sell you products. They sell you dissatisfaction with what you have. That car commercial doesn't say buy this car. It says your current car is inadequate and you should feel bad about it. That phone ad doesn't say buy this phone. It says you're behind and everyone else has upgraded and you're falling behind. Marketing is industrial-scale hedonic adaptation acceleration. They're deliberately speeding up the process by which your current stuff becomes unsatisfying, so you'll buy new stuff, which will also become unsatisfying, so you'll buy newer stuff. It's an infinite loop designed to extract money from you forever. The lottery system itself is built on hedonic adaptation. They advertise jackpots by showing you what you could buy: mansions, cars, yachts, freedom. They're not selling you a ticket. They're selling you dissatisfaction with your current life and a fantasy escape. And when people win, the lottery doesn't provide financial counseling. They don't warn you about hedonic adaptation. They don't explain that buying everything you want will make you happy for about 6 months and then miserable. Why would they? They need the next winner to be just as reckless so the media can cover it and sell more tickets. The lottery is a tax on people who don't understand hedonic adaptation. Credit card companies exploit hedonic adaptation. Buy now, pay later. Experience the lifestyle upgrade immediately. Your brain will adapt to the new baseline, and by the time the bill comes, the purchases won't feel exciting anymore, but you'll still have the debt. They're literally selling you future regret. Social media accelerates hedonic adaptation to an insane degree. You see everyone's highlight reel, everyone's upgrades, everyone's vacations and purchases and lifestyle. Your brain constantly compares. Your apartment felt fine until you saw your friend's new place. Your car was perfectly functional until your coworker posted their new car. Social media is a hedonic adaptation machine. It makes your current life feel inadequate at the speed of light. Here's the really insidious part. The system needs you to be on the hedonic treadmill. The entire economy is built on growth, and growth requires consumption, and consumption requires people to never be satisfied. If everyone reached a point where they felt content with what they had and stopped buying new things, the economy would collapse. Hedonic adaptation isn't a bug in the system. It's the system. You're supposed to keep upgrading. You're supposed to never feel satisfied. You're supposed to keep spending. That's how the machine works. And the worst part? The people running the machine, the marketers, the advertisers, the executives, they know about hedonic adaptation. They study it. They exploit it. But they're not immune to it. They're also on the treadmill. The CEO making $10 million a year is just as trapped as the person making $50,000. Just spinning faster. Bigger house, faster adaptation, need a bigger house. Nicer car, quick adaptation, need a nicer car. Everyone's trapped. The lottery winner and the billionaire are experiencing the same psychological mechanism. Just different numbers, same emptiness. Okay, so you're trapped on the hedonic treadmill. Your brain will adapt to any upgrade and leave you back at baseline. The system is designed to exploit this. What do you actually do? Because I'm not going to tell you to live like a monk and never enjoy anything. That's not the answer. The answer is strategic upgrades and deliberate gratitude. Let me explain. First, understand that hedonic adaptation has a speed. Some things you adapt to quickly, some slowly. You adapt to material possessions extremely fast. New car, new phone, new clothes, 6 months, and they're just your car, your phone, your clothes. But you adapt to experiences much slower. A vacation becomes a memory that often gets better over time. You adapt to time freedom very slowly. Having control over your schedule, having flexibility, these things remain satisfying for years. And you adapt to relationships and community almost never. Strong friendships, family bonds, these provide lasting satisfaction. So strategic upgrading means invest in things you adapt to slowly, not things you adapt to quickly. Second, use the hedonic adaptation preview. Before you buy something, imagine you've had it for 6 months. Does it still excite you? If the only appeal is newness, don't buy it. You're literally paying money to feel excited for 6 months, and then neutral forever while still paying for the thing. That's a terrible deal. Only upgrade if the thing provides lasting value beyond the novelty. For example, buying a nicer mattress. You'll adapt to it, but you'll still get better sleep. That's lasting value. Buying a fancy car just because it's new. You'll adapt, and it'll just be your car, but you'll still have the payment. No lasting value beyond the adaptation period. Third, practice deliberate gratitude. This sounds like self-help nonsense, but it's neurologically sound. Gratitude practice slows down hedonic adaptation. Every week, actually list things you're grateful for. Force yourself to notice what you have instead of what you don't have. This isn't about being fake positive. This is about hacking your brain's tendency to treat current blessings as invisible. You have running water. When's the last time you felt grateful for that? You have electricity. You have food. You have safety. These things are incredible. But you've adapted to them. Gratitude practice is deliberately de-adapting. It works. Studies show people who practice gratitude report higher life satisfaction, even with no change in circumstances. Fourth, build in renewal. Some things you can re-experience to feel the initial joy again. You adapt to your house, but you can rediscover it by changing one room. You adapt to your city, but you can rediscover it by exploring new neighborhoods. You adapt to your relationship, but you can rediscover it by trying new activities together. Renewal is cheaper than replacement and often more effective. Fifth, avoid lifestyle inflation as your income grows. This is the big one. When you get a raise, don't immediately upgrade your life to match. Save or invest at least 50% of any income increase. Let's say you get a $30,000 raise after taxes. Upgrade your life by $15,000. Save $15,000. This way you experience some improvement, but you're not locked into a higher baseline that you can't sustain if circumstances change. And the money you save is buying you time freedom, which you adapt to slowly. Sixth, set a finish line. Hedonic adaptation is infinite. There's no amount of money that makes you feel permanently satisfied. So you have to artificially create a finish line. Decide on a number. Maybe it's 1 million in investments. Maybe it's a paid-off house. Whatever it is, decide that after you hit that number, you're done optimizing for more money and you start optimizing for time, relationships, experiences. Without a finish line, you'll just keep running forever. Seventh, if you ever do win the lottery or get a windfall, don't touch it for 6 months. Seriously, put it in an account and don't make any decisions. Let the initial euphoria fade. Let your brain calm down. Then make decisions from a rational place instead of an emotional place. The number one mistake lottery winners make is immediate spending during the dopamine rush. Wait it out. Eighth, recognize that the feeling of enough is psychological, not mathematical. You will never earn enough to feel rich if you keep adapting. The person making $500,000 a year feels exactly as financially stressed as the person making $50,000 if they've both adapted to their lifestyle. So the question isn't how do I earn more? The question is how do I design my life so my baseline feels good instead of constantly chasing the next upgrade? Here's what I need you to understand. Lottery winners don't go broke because they're stupid. They go broke because they're human. Their brains did exactly what human brains do. Adapt to new circumstances, return to baseline, need more stimulation to feel good again. It's not a personal failing. It's a feature of human psychology. And you're experiencing the exact same thing, just with smaller numbers. That raise didn't make you happier long term because your brain adapted. That new car stopped being exciting because your brain adapted. That bigger apartment stopped feeling big because your brain adapted. The system is designed to exploit this, to keep you perpetually dissatisfied, to keep you upgrading, to keep you spending, to keep you on the treadmill. And the only way off is to understand the mechanism and deliberately choose a different path. You can't fight hedonic adaptation. It's built into your neurology, but you can work with it instead of against it. Invest in experiences, not possessions. Invest in time freedom, not status symbols. Invest in relationships, not stuff. Practice gratitude to slow the adaptation. Set a finish line so you're not chasing forever. And most importantly, understand that the feeling of more is a trick your brain is playing on you. More money won't make you happier unless you have a plan for how to use it that accounts for adaptation. 70% of lottery winners go broke. Not because they're idiots. Because they're on the same hedonic treadmill you're on. They just had more speed. Same destination though. Back to baseline. Possibly worse off than before because the fall from an adapted high baseline feels like punishment. You're headed to the same place if you don't get off the treadmill. So here's what I want you to do. This week, practice gratitude for one thing you've already adapted to. Your home, your health, your safety, whatever. Actually feel grateful for it. Notice it. Appreciate it. See if it changes how you feel. And the next time you want to upgrade something, ask yourself, will this still bring me joy in 6 months? Or am I just chasing the feeling of newness? If it's just newness, don't buy it. You're paying money for a temporary dopamine hit, followed by permanent baseline. That's the worst trade in the world. You don't need to win the lottery to be happy. You don't need more money to be satisfied. You need to understand your brain, design around adaptation, and stop letting the system convince you that the next upgrade will finally be the one that makes you feel complete. It won't. There's no amount of money that makes hedonic adaptation stop. But there's a way to live that makes the treadmill irrelevant. Go find it. I'll see you in the next one.